Hello guys, we are reviewing Grizzly Tales Season 2. I don't want to make the intro too long because I explained everything I did in the first intro. So yeah, I'm excited. Are you guys excited? Because I'm excited. So let's review Season 2, baby! Back in the box. Starting off strong Season 2 with a 10 out of 10 episode. I loved Jack. He was very funny. And you know what makes it really funny? First of all, we're trying to have a spirit of a child start looking at doll. That's might be creepy. But he goes, "Hey, it's dark in here. Who turned off the lights?" Which is just so funny. And what makes Jack funny is that his death basically goes to, he says, "Oh, look at the time," and then he looks at his watch and flexes about it. Bro died because he wanted to flex. Also, the little sister was actually pretty sad when she, said, "Please, brother Jack, please come back." And the mom and dad were like, she won't get over her. Why isn't she getting over her brother's death? And I'm like, how will you get over your son's death so quickly? Fucking psychos. I mean, I know a mom says, "Oh, he's got some of Jack," which shows she is mourning, but that quickly? But no, it was a great episode. Glued to the telly. A real story here. When Uncle Grizzly says, help us, we're stuck in the telly. Ellie, ask your parents if we'll sleep on the sofa. I asked my mom and dad, could Uncle Grizzly live with us? They were confused as shit. But just remembering that, and honestly, the episode was hilarious. Martin was a hilarious protagonist, but because he only said cheese and onion, made the episode feel that much more disturbing. It just, I don't know how to explain it. It just has an uncanny feeling. The way it says cheese and onion, it feels like an animal in pain when you just see it groan and moan, and you just want to take it out of its misery. I don't know. He can talk. What am I doing? I'm eating myself, and you gotta help me. So he knows what he's doing. So it just makes it feel a lot wronger. The scene where he jumps at the newswoman was also funny, so it's getting a 10 out of 10. The cat burglar, 10 out of 10. I loved it. I don't really agree with Grizzly saying Angela Tearful is stupid, because she's a mourning little girl who was looking for her cat. Also, at the end of the day, was the girl mean? The main character? Yes. I'd even say she's one of the evilest. She made, she got 21 pounds by buying one pack of mints. Why go for why get a cat what's only worth £10? I mean, if these people were that desperate, just do it again. May even buy a jawbreaker and charge 20p for a lick. And, just say whoever gets to the center will get £100 and then, run off before they catch you. Well, but the actual episode, I liked how she found Tittles, but Tittles was dead. Pretty disturbing. And Theodora, the cat, was pretty random, but pretty cool. Yeah, all around, I give the episode a 10 out of 10. Very creative, very cool. But bye, guys. Mr. Peeler. I loved it. It was a great episode. I feel like the episode is basically like a Bugs Bunny skit where you have the parents be rage bait the whole episode by the kid. The kid was, funny, like him actually waiting. But what I wonder is that he just wanted to stay up. Why did he need his parents to stay up with him? Yeah, I know he's a kid and he's scared, but what I mean is, if you want to stay up as a kid, I'm sorry, but your parents won't know. If your parents are asleep, okay, right now, kid, just stay up. They won't punish you. Just stay quiet, stay up. But besides that, Mr. Peeler was funny and just really cool. The episode is a 10 out of 10. I really liked the episode. It was pretty cool. See you later. An elephant never forgets. Honestly, it was good. It was a fun episode. They wished for a lot of stuff. They killed an elephant. it's an unsightly thing. I mean, who would kill an elephant to rip off its feet just to use as an umbrella stand? I'm just saying. I'm joking. But at the end of the day, it was quite a good episode. I'm gonna be truthful. It was hard for me to watch the plot because the mom was turning me the fuck on. Why was our mom so hot? But I'm joking. But genuinely, the episode, it was gonna get an 8. But as the mom, it deserves a 10 out of 10. I actually really did like the elephant. It was cool. But genuinely, the kids weren't evil. They killed the elephant. Yes, was wrong. But they asked the elephant to come back to life. Yes, the elephant had 3 legs. But at the end of the day, they literally were trying to apologize and shit. They learned their lesson was cruel. I don't think they were in the wrong. Just me. I don't think the kids were in the wrong. See you in the next one. The Age Dealer, peak episode. It was great. I loved how Alan Sterling was such an annoying twat. He was so lovable. He's lovable because his asshole nature, like his voice. Albert loves me now. I'm Albert's favorite, and that's the main thing. But my problem with him is that he doesn't get his comeuppance. She throws him to the ground, which he rightfully deserves, looks down and sucks his thumb. That's it. I'm sorry, but I wanted to see the mom get some brass knuckles and just beat the shit out of him. I love Albert, but honestly, what I wouldn't see to just see her beat the hell out of him. Sterling. Albert was actually a really lovable character. I felt bad for her. She was a really interesting character. I loved how she was a prime minister, but when she became an old woman, she realized it's all pointless. She's gonna die. Why does it matter? And I liked the message that you should respect your youth. The Age Dealer was a great villain, honestly. I really liked it. The episode's a 10 out of 10. I know I sound lazy. I just think Season 2 is better than Season 1, personally. Well, the giant that grew too big for his boots. Honestly, I sound like a broken record, because that's what I am. Because this episode was fucking peak. Hugh Chew in the original book was a man, but he turned him to a boy. And in my opinion, this is my hot take. Okay, my hot take is when they try to turn a character like Godzilla into a kid, it's cringe. Or Bumblebee, or Spider-Man. It can be really cringe. But Hugh Chew did it perfectly, because he still acted. They just made his wife his mother, which, and everything else was the same. They just made his wife his mother, and him, the husband, her son. Honestly, this episode was perfect. It was a 10 out of 10. Hugh Chew was great because he's a genuinely evil protagonist. He drowned a lot of people. He conquered lands. He is literally a cannibal. And he ate creatures, including humans, while they were alive. And threatened to squish his own mother if she didn't feed him. I love all protagonists because they're kind of justifiable, but Hugh Chew is just pure evil, and in a way makes him the most entertaining. So yeah, this episode was peak. Prince Snowman, I loved it, but genuinely had a couple flaws with it. First of all, I liked how the main character of the episode, she was forcefully married, then forcefully had to mate with him. But she never gave up hope for her baby. She could have just left him, She could have left Snowman with the Folgers. She didn't need this. She was forcefully married and forcefully, had to do the deed. She could have just left, but she stayed because she knew her baby needed a good mother, because the rest of the Folgers were all animals. So to me, it shows the beauty of motherhood, that this mother, could have let the baby become a monster, but wanted him to have a heart and respect to people, because she was just a mere peasant. And honestly, the dad, I don't think it was that evil either. He he raised his son as a kid, not as a boy. But at the end of the day, I can't blame him. Death was very near, and he had to accept that he'll be gone soon, and his son has to be a kin. So maybe I'm wrong for saying this, but I kind of can respect Norman. No, not for the forcefully marriage and mating thing, but I mean the knowing that he'll be gone soon, and his son has to inspire new generations. And what I don't like is that she cuts the family apart, taking their ears, their nose, their eyeballs, and gosh, which, by the way, how do you take someone's gums off? And nose. And in my opinion, and face and chin. So to me, I would have wanted to see that. Maybe it's good we didn't see it, but all in all, because of all that stuff, I mean, look, I do like the episode. I liked the eggs when they all argued. That was cool. But to me, it was a 6 out of 10. Tag. I fucking love this episode. It is the best, honestly. It's like everyone, it's a redemption story, and you know me, I'm a sucker for Grizzly Tale stories that don't end with children dying, because I don't like seeing kids die. Like, I know I watch dark media, it may seem like I'm a guy who's hopeless and doesn't like happy endings, but I'm a sucker for a happy ending. Every episode will have a happy ending. It's just goated. Now, the main character does get covered in sits, and then you see a lot of sit, cream. Ugh, it's kind of gross. It might be a turn off. So, but I don't know. I think the second part, when he gets name tags all over his body, is extremely cool. And I like how it ends with him thinking about stealing, but every time he itches his neck. My only problem is they say it's about envy, which really it isn't. Yeah, he's angry because a guy had a giant marble, but really it's more about wanting to steal. It should have been about, in my opinion, shouldn't have been about envy, and should have been about not gluttony, that the other sin about collecting. Greed. It should have been about greed, not envy. But yeah, the episode's a 10 out of 10, but it should have been about greed. The litter bug. Honestly, I know I sound like a broken record. I'm sorry, season 2 was better than season 1. I'm sorry. I had a lot of praise for season 1, but season 2 has blown that season out of the water. Okay, so let me give my reason why. Bunty was hilarious. She was just like a chocolate girl, but genuinely I think a chocolate girl was more entertaining with her gluttony, because she was mean, she was funny, she was like, not anymore. Where Bunty never really speaks, because there was always a narration. All we ever heard her say was, out of pure terror. And honestly, I wanted to say, the big black bugs from Bulgaria are better, because in the original book they were a real-life bug species, and I'm going to say it here, I don't find, if you make, like, a series, and you make the monster an animal, and then you remake the series and make the monster a monster, that's scarier. Because to me, monsters aren't scary when they're just animals. Yeah, is a tiger scary? Yes, but I don't consider it a monster. So to me, I'm glad they made it Bulgaria. I know it's cliche, but I just rather have that when a fictional series. I'd rather have that when real life one, because I just feel like it's more scary that way. Anyway, it's a 10 out of 10. Honestly, great episode. Fat Boy with a Trumpet. Honestly, a good episode. I really liked it. But mostly for the comedy. Like, it's kind of boring. Not the best. I think it's an 8 out of 10. I want to explain it. And Johnny was extremely likable. I liked that, he was a basic boy victim. He was fat, nerd, had a talent, which, people seen as cringe. I liked how he defended himself, yelling at him, scaring him, and that's why he wanted his revenge. I liked how a boy, Johnny Bullneck, was also the exact, antithesis. He made everyone suffer, the boys and girls. He was really pathetic, and that's why I like how pathetic he was. It was funny. The episode was good. The animation was great. If you don't know, I don't know what to say about the episode. Nah, it was funny. It was actually funny. It was an 8 out of 10, though. The Brown Down Cottage. Honestly, not a big fan. It was, okay. As I've said, it has a ghost twist that every Grizzly Tale one has. You get the characters, you get to know, and ends while I'm walking for the door. It's literally just the same. I do think it's core to see them have mischief with one another, and I know the kid's a ghost, but even when he said, my mom and dad wouldn't come for me, that was sad. I like how the main character ran away, right? And he was unsure, and he was like, he shouldn't do this. But then the ghost kid said, you're gonna leave me, and he decided not to leave him. It's a good one. I liked how they're trolling, saying like, tell firemen go warm your tootsies was funny. It's a really funny episode, but genuinely it is pretty sad. But I'd have to give it a 6 out of 10. It was cool, but not my favorite. Favorite personally. Willard. Honestly, not a big fan of it. Willard, I just feel bad for because all he wanted to do was just not seem like a geek. He had a good life. He just didn't want to be made fun of. And then the new student came in and was just a right bitch to him, making fun of him. And yes, people should have been so dumb and believed everything he said, but this kid died just to prove this girl wrong. And then when he realized what he did was wrong, redeemed himself and died. I'm a sucker for redemption. It would encourage him admit he was wrong, but no, he died. And Willard, I feel bad for him because he was just a kid who just didn't want to be seen as just a nerd. I feel like if he lived, he probably would have went to college and met people who have the same likes as him and would have been, found some people who like him, but he was a 10-year-old boy. Anyone in his shoes would do the same thing. Yeah, the episode was pretty okay. It was a 4 out of 10.